9:30, so the way I look at it, I have about an hour. I'm just saying. Just want to warn you. So there you go. So prepare yourselves. And first of all, some of you know I'm going to catch you up on my, I'll go ahead, you want to put the slides up there. I'll put the first one up. Catch you up. Some of you know I came in here last time I preached with you. I am training for the New York City Marathon. It is November 3rd, which is very few weeks from now. And yesterday was my long run. So, well, I mean, I've been long running a lot. But yesterday I ran 20.5 miles. Yes, 0.5. Don't forget that 0.5. It nearly killed me. But it was my longest run ever in my entire life for fun. I'm still wondering what the fun part was about, but as I trained, but the one, and I'm raising money, you know, for the organization 261 Fearless. It's not about me, it's not raising money for me, but 261 Fearless is the organization that's run by Catherine Switzer, who was the first woman to run first woman to run the Boston Marathon officially. And they tried to hustle her out of there and said women couldn't run and all this kind of stuff. But she's put together an organization and for the last many years has been teaching women that by movement, not necessarily running marathons, but through movement, you can find your power. And I found her words 10 years ago when I didn't feel like I had a lot of power and when I was not healthy and a much different person. And now my life has come 10 years later. I am on her team, raising money for her, and I'm her organization, and I'm running the New York City Marathon. And I share that with you because, well, I still need to raise some money, so in case somebody wants to donate, there you go. But I also share that with you as part of my surreal week. I got to meet her, not in person yet. I will get to do that in New York, but we had our team meeting, and she came on the Zoom link with our team meeting and shared with us her experiences. And I couldn't even talk during the team meeting. So I hope I get better before I meet her in person. That's all I got to say, because it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be ugly crying when I meet her, because she means so much to me, because she's everything. If she could do it, I could do it. So look, I'm getting all upset now. She's, Lord only knows where she's at. She's probably in bed somewhere. But anyway, so I had that. I met her this week. And also this week, I'm sure, did I preach about revolutionary love here one week? Oh, you don't, that's like a pop quiz. You don't remember? I did, didn't Valerie Kaur? I met her this week. She was in Indianapolis and spoke, and I got to go meet her. Not only meet her, she hung out after, and I got to actually talk one-on-one with her. And yes, I cried, ugly cry again. What is wrong with me these days? I'm supposed to be bad, tough, you know. But ugly cried, and she goes, oh my God, dear, and she hugged me like, oh, so I got to explain to her why she was so important to me. And her words, when I was at a dark time after stuff and didn't know how to help people find light, she spoke words, she spoke truth, she spoke, you know, what if the darkness you're experiencing isn't a tomb, but rather it's a womb? I'm like, oh my gosh, that's a new frame. And that just brought me hope and gave me hope to share with people. I'm like, yes, maybe this darkness that I feel in our world right now is not a tomb. And so I got to meet her. So, oh my gosh, we had that going on. And then to top off my week, get ready, let's get your party started. Some of us were that pink. I saw pink last night, so I should probably not even be here today. I'm just wiped out. It's been one of those weeks. But I sometimes wonder if a week like this isn't the result of what we're about to talk about a little bit, of letting go and making room for things I never dreamed possible. You know, when I finally released the penny, the universe says, oh my gosh, Mills, I got a lot of this stuff down the pike here for you. Thank you for letting go of the penny. And I invite you all to think about that for yourselves as we talk about this stuff. What do you need to let go? What no longer serves you so that the universe can bring you some of these things that you never dreamed possible? When I read Catherine Switzer's book 10 years ago, and I started moving, even though I was a much bigger and much unhealthier person, I never dreamed that 10 years later, I would be there, but I began to let go of my image of myself and things like that. I'm inviting you to the same thing, and I think fall gives us this beautiful picture and reminder that we can do that. And let me tell you, Mills here, I love fall. I love fall. That's my kiddies. Yes, you always read that. She's the mom to Grace and Maddie and Wesley. There they are. A long, long time ago. They're about to be 24, 25, and 17. But there they are, and every year, we still live in the same house, we get in the leaves, there they are, and I love preparing the sermon, because I went back through and dug these out, and there they are, you see they just get bigger and bigger, and I make them get in this leaf. I quit after this, because you know how your kids get, but I just love fall, I love leaves, we get out, we just always had fun in the leaves, and then we blow them at each other, and then, and I made them all work at it, and they'd get all mad at me. And then at some point when you're cleaning leaves, don't you put somebody in the bag? You always put somebody in the bag of leaves. Whoever was the littlest person. For the longest time it was our son, because he's a lot younger, but now he's like bigger than everybody in the family. So he would put us all in a bag of leaves probably, but we don't want to go down that road anymore. But I just love fall. I love everything about fall. I love the colors. You'll notice I got my flannel out. I love my flannel. I love my boots. It's built for me. I love my little beanies. I wear beanies all the time. I love fall. Fall is great for me. And my dogs love fall. That's little Wilbur, best stitch that ever was. You can tell he's really embracing fall. I think it's his favorite season as well. I love fall, and for lots of reasons. It's a little bit chillier, it's all that kind of stuff. But I think probably if we think about it, there's probably a much deeper reason for loving fall. I think that I love this quote I found. I don't know where I saw this, but somewhere, the great internet somewhere, but the trees are about to show how lovely it is to let things go. And I think that is fall on a deeper level. The trees are about to show us how lovely it can be to let things go. I believe that I tend to live with this notion inside that letting go is a horrible thing. Ooh, it's scary. Don't know if I'll land in a safe place, and I can't let anything ever go, and I've got to keep everything close to me and all that kind of stuff. But the leaves are a beautiful reminder that letting go doesn't have to be so bad. In fact, it can be celebrated and beautiful, and the trees remind us of that. The real reason that I love fall is deeper and goes unseen, but it is felt. It goes far beyond playing in the leaves and wearing flannel and having bonfires. I guess you guys had a bonfire, some of you, last night. That sounds fun. I love a big bonfire. Fall teaches us a profound lesson in the closing months of the year. Fall shows us how to let go of things in our lives that are no longer serving us. And that's what I'm going to ask you in the next 45 minutes. Just kidding. Seeing if anybody's still listening. I'm going to ask you in this next little bit of time to begin to think about what might not be serving you. What might not be serving you. And just kind of begin to think about, what are you holding on to that might not be serving you anymore? I pulled this up from a blogger that I follow. It's called Someday My Soul. She says this: as the trees change color and eventually let go of their dry, dead leaves, they release the weight of what no longer gives them vital purpose. What no longer supports them in their health and well-being is lovingly released to the earth, where it can be of greater benefit to the ecosystem as a whole. Love and joy are not typical emotions that we associate with releasing things from our lives. For me personally, letting go is often accompanied with anxiety, guilt, and apology. We tend to perceive letting go of people as hurtful, letting go of things as wasteful, and letting go of toxic thought patterns is just too darn hard. In reality, letting go of what no longer serves us is one of the most loving things we can do. It doesn't mean we don't love whatever it is we're releasing. It means we love it and ourselves enough to acknowledge that we are both called onward and upward for the next phase of our evolution. Who's called onward and upward? Are you called onward and upward? I want to be called onward and upward. And to be called onward and upward for this next phase, we may need to lovingly thank those things that no longer serves us. And the trees show us the beauty of that. I look now at trees with their color they're having a party. Talk about pink. Those trees are having a party. They turn bright colors and say, thank you for serving me all summer, you leaves. You've been amazing. Your chloroform has outdone itself. You have brought us energy in abundance. We have loved you. You have fed us. You have been amazing. But you no longer serve us. Days are getting shorter. It's getting colder. and you're of no use to us anymore, but thank you. You have brought us a long way, and we're going to shoot you with all kinds of color, and it's going to be gorgeous, and you're going to have a safe place to land onto the earth, and you're going to become a part of this beautiful earth, and you're going to nurture the roots below, and you're still very much a part of things. You're just changing shape. So celebrate, let go. And the tree has to let them go. I got into science this week. Everybody say woo. I am not a sciencey person. You know that. I don't like math and science. I mean, I like it, but I don't know. But yes, they have to let them go because they don't serve it. The trees can't keep those big old leaves. They don't do nothing for them in the winter. They have to let them go to serve what they are called to be as trees. And they let them go into the earth, and it nurtures the earth, and it makes, what we call it, fertilizer, like it makes a good sod or good ground. And the roots take that up, all right? They have to let them go. So the tree, because the tree needs to conserve that energy, and it needs this next phase of time so that what happens, we know in the spring, little leaves start to come back up, because that's when the days get longer and it gets warmer, right? Isn't that beautiful? Don't you love that? I'm becoming a Mother Nature person ever since that branch fell on my Jeep, you know. I'm becoming a lover of you, Mother Nature. Love you so much. But seriously, what a lesson that teaches us. We can celebrate. What would it mean if I let go of some of the anxiety over letting things go and said, oh my gosh, thank you, habit. You probably kept me alive for a long time, but you know what? I don't think you serve me anymore, so I'm going to have a party for you. And I'm going to thank you for keeping me alive until I reached age probably 38. But since 38, you've been causing me a lot of trouble. So I'm going to celebrate you, thank you, whoop, and let you go. That's what the trees teach us, that it's okay. We don't have to keep holding on to all that stuff. My friend Robin had sent me something this week, a voice message or something. I don't know, whatever, little thing. She's one of my training people. And she said that I had not thought about this before. She'd read something in some Harvard Business Review. I don't read Harvard stuff. But anyway, she said, I read something in the Harvard Business Review. Did you see it? And I'm like, no, I did not see it. But thank you for sharing. Probably missed that. But anyway, it was talking about how we tend to just add things into our lives all the time. We just add and add. Oh, that would make me feel better. I'll do this a little. Oh, if I put that in my life, it'll be better. And she goes, maybe we need to start editing out things in our lives. I'm like, whoa, oh. And I think that goes right along with this. I never think about editing out things. Maybe it's just my personality, but I tend to add in things. And once I've added it in, it's in here for good. It's stuck in there and it stays. It does not turn a color and fall safely to a safe place to land. It stays, and it stays a long time. But she was like, to examine your life. What do you need to edit out? What no longer serves you? And I'm like, that is exactly what I want to talk about this week. That is exactly what I'm studying. Isn't that funny how things like that happen? You know? But she's right. Like, what do we need to edit out right now? I'm just going to do a simple one. So when she said that, I said, okay, I'm going to find 2 things in my life I can edit out. And the first one, I thought, I'll be honest with you, it took me 2 days to figure something out because it's just hard for me to let go of stuff. Maybe it's easy for you guys, but I am obsessed with getting my steps. Anybody else got these step counters? I just am. I'm obsessed with it. It's goofy. I do not need to get my steps. As you might have mentioned, I'm training for a marathon. There is no reason for me to be obsessed with getting my steps every day. Obviously, by the end of the week, I get all of my steps, okay? It's not a problem for me, but, I can't go to bed if I don't have 10,000 steps. I will literally walk up and down my steps, walk through my house, stand by my bed, and go like this. My wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm getting my steps, can't go to bed yet. She's like, go the other room. I'm like, okay, All right, sometimes I'm just doing this, I will not go to bed without those steps. When I first started my fitness journey, that served me. That saved me. That was a good thing because that was teaching me about movement. And that was so important. That movement was unlocking something in me. That was helping me find my power. And that was good I was getting those steps. And that was wonderful. And it was good I kept track of that. And it was good I got those 10,000 steps every day. But you know what? Yesterday I had 48,000 steps without doing this. I think that was by noon I had 48,000 steps. I don't need to worry about getting 10,000 steps today. I took a deep breath. And I shed a tear. I was like, thank you, 10,000 steps. You got me to where I'm running a marathon. You did that, 10,000 steps. But I don't need the obsession with it anymore. So thank you. your bright yellow, your bright red, land safely on the ground. And you know what? On my rest days, I'm going to send this to Robin too, pictures of it to show her. I only got like 6,000 steps one day. Whew. I said it. You're the first people I've said that out loud to. Let me see if I'm okay. My heart rate is up. I'm probably going to get a thing that says, relax. Okay, I'm relaxing a little bit. Okay. That's just my thing. But odds are, if we examine our lives, we all have something. That's a simple, funny one. But we all probably have some things like that no longer serve us, that we're just holding on for dear life. Ask yourself over the next couple weeks for the universe to reveal what those might be. We're wasting time and energy on those that we no longer need. What might the universe be bringing to us that would lift us into our new evolution, into our new place of being? And that's what I want us to think about. The tree, I'm really not going to keep going for 45 minutes, so I'll get us wrapped up. Everybody say amen. Amen. All righty. Although it is tempting, I'm not going to lie. You really should double check your clocks for the pastor. I heard her say that was broken, though, so it was okay. So that was broken. But, and I think about, here's the trees, after they have their big party and they let the leaves fall to a safe place to land. I just love that. Let me take a minute. After that happens, they don't immediately go to new leaves, do they? They have this place where they're dormant, we think. But actually, trees got a lot going on inside them. We just don't see it. It's okay to do that internal work. It's okay to ask those internal questions. It's okay to do that introspection. The trees teach us that as well. I probably could come back in December and preach a whole sermon on what happens inside a tree in the winter. Oh my gosh. I could do a whole series on the 4 seasons in trees. Let me write that down because no, I'm kidding. But there is this time, and I think we need that too. You let go. Don't just immediately gobble into something else. See what is really yours to take and what is yours to do. And the tree teaches us that. Dr. Susan Frederick Gray, who was the head of our UU Association for a lot of years, she's now at Bloomington, actually. Church, she's appointed there, or not appointed, that's the Methodist term. Isn't that weird that I'm at a Methodist church now? How weird is that? Everybody just shake your head and go, that's weird. That is just odd, Mills. Yeah, they defrocked me all them years ago. And then I said, then they changed. I guess I got to tell you, talk about the universe doing work. I let that go finally. You let that go, and then 23 years later, they decided they'd let gay people back in. And I said, hey, if you're letting gay people back in, I want my credentials back, because you shouldn't have taken those probably. And they said, here's your credentials, and here, why don't you have a church? I'm like, what? I don't even know if I'm really a Christian much anymore or anything. Well, here, tag one part-time and see how it fits. I'm like, okay. So anyway, well, that's just crazy. You just never know. When you let stuff go, the universe just brings you all kinds of wacky stuff. But Susan Frederick Gray, who is now at Bloomington, I heard her preach a sermon about liminal time. You guys may know what that is. I'd never heard that term before. But liminal time is a time of where you're waiting and you're in transition, and you intentionally kind of mark a time where you're at a threshold. It's a time of liminal space is the uncertain transition between where you've been and where you're going physically, emotionally, and metaphorically. To be in liminal space means to be on the precipice of something new, but not quite there yet. I love that. Isn't that kind of where trees are maybe in the winter? And maybe isn't that when we've just let go and had a party for whatever we've let go of? It's okay to be in that liminal time for a minute, at the precipice. We're at the precipice, and that's okay to be there and just to wait for a minute and to embrace that liminal time and to stand and wait there. And when people go, oh, I see you're retired now. Would you like to do this? Would you like to do that? I'm sure nobody ever says that to you, but blah, 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 blah. Say, I'm in liminal time right now. I'm at the precipice. So I'm going to hold for a minute. I know I'm called to run the marathon. I know I'm called to do this couple of these things I'm doing right now, but I'm at the precipice right now. It's okay to say those things and to be in that time, because the tree shows us after the party comes liminal time, which is so important. I'm gonna just kind of close this off there because I think that's enough. But I'm gonna close this with a poem called Storage by Mary Oliver, and it's what I was gonna read for the meditation, but I think it closes this much better. Isn't it great to be open to the universe? When I let go of what had to be, and look what the universe says, hey, Mills, I think this will go much better here. I'm like, thank you, universe. Mary Oliver, great UU poet. If you haven't read any of her work, go read it. It's awesome. It's called Storage, and it's about learning to fly when you let go. When I moved from one house to another, there were many things I had no room for. What does one do? I rented a storage space and filled it. Guilty. Years passed. Occasionally, I went there, and I looked in, but nothing happened. Not a single twinge of heart. As I grew older, the things I cared about grew fewer, but were more important. So one day, I undid the lock, and I called the trash man. He took everything. I felt like the little donkey when his burden is finally lifted. Things, burn them, make a beautiful fire. More room in your heart for love, for trees, for birds who own nothing. The reason they can fly. Come fly with me. Let's go. Let's let go. And let's fly. Thank you.